The notification pinged just as I was closing my laptop, finalizing the last wedding arrangements. A message from my sister. Don't come tomorrow. We want a peaceful day. No emojis, no apologies, just that line. My eyes lingered on the screen longer than they should have, trying to process the audacity. I had poured every ounce of effort, every penny I could spare, into making her wedding flawless. And now, not even an invite. I am Sophia Mehra, 32, a project manager overseeing multi-million-dollar hospital projects. Deadlines, crises, and chaos, handled without breaking a sweat. Yet at home, my role was invisible. My mother treated gatherings like magazine shoots, my father preferred silence as his shield, and my sister, once sweet, now a rising social media star, saw my support as her personal bank. That night, I sat on my balcony, city lights shimmering below, staring at the spreadsheet labeled Wedding, Final. Every row bore my name, every column pointed to them. It felt like I had built a world for people who didn't see me. Grandma's voice called from the kitchen. Sophia, come, beta. It's late. She was 80, frail but sharp-eyed, her presence alone grounding me. I showed her the message. She read it slowly, then placed her thin hand over mine. Tomorrow, she said softly, we take control. It ends tonight. I didn't yet understand, but a shift began inside me. A quiet resolve forming where hesitation once lived. The next morning, the heat pressed against us as Grandma and I walked to the bank. I had printed every statement, every transaction, every hint of financial misuse over the past months. The branch manager's eyebrows arched higher with each page. When Grandma spoke, her voice calm but commanding, it was clear. Today the rules change. Leaving the bank, I felt an unfamiliar lightness. It was as if every shadow of doubt had been forced into the past. On the way home, the city felt sharper, brighter, alive. The tension I had carried for years began to crack. And just when I thought the day couldn't twist further, my phone buzzed. Hundreds of missed messages, each one angrier than the last. The game had begun, but this time, I held the pieces. By mid-morning, the city was buzzing, but I moved through it as if in a separate world. My phone vibrated endlessly, calls, texts, even voice notes, but I didn't answer. Grandma sat beside me in the rickety train, humming an old tune, her frail hands clutching a worn purse. The chaos behind us was deafening. Yet inside, a quiet determination had replaced the fear I once carried. Back at the apartment, I opened the banking app once more. Every account, every transaction, every withdrawal now fell under my watchful eyes. Nothing could move without my permission. The realization sent a shiver down my spine. I was no longer the invisible one. The messages kept coming. My mother's tone was panicked, my sister's urgent, my father trying to mediate. But every word now fell into the void I had created. For the first time, silence became a weapon. Grandma leaned back and smiled. They don't know what hit them. By afternoon, I received a frantic call from the decorator. Vendors were demanding payments. Flowers had been delayed, the caterer had vanished. In a split second, the wedding I had funded in full seemed ready to collapse without me. But for the first time, I didn't panic. I picked up my phone, calmly coordinating with the vendors I had personally hired. Every message I sent was measured, precise, and firm. Slowly, order replaced chaos. While the family scrambled, I watched from the sidelines, feeling a thrill I hadn't known in years. Lunch was quiet, shared with Grandma over simple street food, her eyes twinkling as she whispered, "Sometimes chaos teaches the strongest lessons." Evening arrived with tension thicker than ever. My phone buzzed again, sister screaming, mother pleading, father desperate. I let the calls ring. The control was intoxicating. Yet there was a strange calm under it all. I realized, power doesn't roar, it whispers, it observes, it waits. Just as the sun dipped below the skyline, casting long shadows across the city, a new notification appeared. One that made my heart skip a beat. An unexpected message. A challenge from someone I hadn't anticipated, threatening to undo everything I had meticulously arranged. The game was far from over. Twilight had settled over the city, turning glass towers into mirrors of orange and purple. I sat on the balcony, phone in hand, scanning the relentless notifications. Most were the same. pleas, panic demands, accusations, but one message stood out. Unknown number. I know what you did. This isn't over. My pulse quickened. Someone had been watching, tracking the moves Grandma and I had made. Every transaction, every blocked call, every financial maneuver was no longer private. I felt the first flicker of fear in hours. A reminder that taking control had consequences I hadn't accounted for. Grandma, sensing my tension, placed a hand on my shoulder. Fear is only the shadow of awareness, Beta. Don't let it decide your next step. Night fell. The city lights blinked like distant stars, indifferent to the chaos in my apartment. I double-checked every bank alert, every message, ensuring that nothing could slip past me. Then came a sudden ring, my sister's number. Her voice trembled. Sophia, someone's in the hall. The decorators, they're arguing. They don't know what to do. I leaned back, a quiet thrill rushing through me. The wedding she had once treated as a display of power was unraveling. Not by chance, but under my watch. I didn't move in panic, I observed. Every small crisis now became a tool. Every misplaced delivery a reminder that I held the strings. By midnight, the unknown threat had sent another message. Stop now, or everything collapses. I stared at it, heart racing but mind clear. Who was behind this? Competitor, disgruntled vendor, or someone closer than I expected? Whoever it was, they underestimated the resolve of someone who had been invisible for too long. I finally closed the laptop and sat with Grandma, sipping steaming tea. The night outside was still, almost conspiratorial. The thrill of control blended with the prickling tension of the unknown. This wasn't just about money anymore. It had become a test of nerve, of strategy, of patience. Somewhere in the shadows of my apartment, I realized that the real game had only begun. I couldn't see the player, but I could feel the moves, the threats, and the anticipation of building in every corner. The morning light seeped through the curtains, but inside my apartment, tension clung to the air like humidity. Overnight, the messages had multiplied, some panicked, some pleading, and others cryptic, hinting at hidden threats. Whoever had been watching was no longer silent. I sat with Grandma, sipping her steaming coffee, pretending calm. They think they can scare you, she said, her eyes sharp. But fear only has power if you let it. The first challenge of the day arrived in the form of the caterer. His voice was frantic over the phone. Madam, the deliveries, they've vanished. The wedding, it's falling apart. I felt a strange satisfaction. After years of being overlooked, I was the one steering the chaos now. By midday, I was navigating the city streets, coordinating vendors with precision while avoiding the spiraling panic of my family. Each misstep they made fueled the sense of control rising within me. They had once believed that money and influence could dictate my life, but now I was rewriting the rules. Then came the unexpected. A knock at the door. I froze. No one was supposed to be here. Peering through the peephole, I saw a man holding a small envelope. No introduction, no explanation, just the weight of uncertainty. I took it cautiously. Inside was a single note. You've won small battles, but the war is just beginning. A chill ran down my spine. Who had left this? A competitor? A jealous relative? Or someone I trusted too easily? Grandma's met mine. Beta, notice the patterns. That's how you survive. Afternoon descended into orchestrated chaos. Messages kept flooding in, vendors unsure, relatives demanding answers. Yet through the storm, I moved like a conductor, turning disorder into harmony. Each calculated step, each strategic pause, was a reminder. Power is silent, cunning, and patient. Evening fell, and the city's skyline was painted in fiery hues. I leaned against the balcony, the envelope's note burning in my mind. For the first time, I realized that control had a cost. Unseen enemies, hidden eyes, and the thrill of uncertainty that refused to release its grip. And as darkness wrapped the city, I sensed it. The first real crack in the facade of my family's arrogance. Someone had underestimated me, someone would pay for it, but how deep the game went, that I still didn't know. Night had fallen, city lights flickering like distant warnings. I sat in my apartment, Grandma beside me, sipping her tea, both of us aware that the day's chaos had only been the beginning. The messages, the calls, the threats, they were all a test of patience, nerve, and control. Suddenly my phone buzzed. My sister, desperate, panicked. Sophia, the hall, the flowers, everything is falling apart. I didn't flinch. I had orchestrated every step behind the scenes, ensuring that what seemed like chaos was actually precision in disguise. The hall wasn't empty, the flowers weren't missing, the caterer wasn't gone. Everything had been handled, quietly, methodically, powerfully. Grandma watched me, her eyes gleaming with pride. See, the quiet ones often win the loudest battles. But the real test came when a shadow appeared outside my window, someone I hadn't anticipated. A messenger, a stranger, a final twist to the unfolding story. The envelope he handed me contained a single sentence. Even the strongest walls can be broken. Are you ready for the consequences? I felt the rush of adrenaline, a thrill I hadn't known in years. This wasn't just about money, weddings, or family anymore. It was a test of strategy, courage, and self-respect. For the first time, I realized that my strength wasn't in confrontation, nor in loud declarations. It was in quiet observation, patience, and the will to act decisively. By midnight, the wedding was over, reduced to a simple ceremony at a nearby registry office. 30 guests, minimal fuss, and an Instagram post that read, "Sometimes less is more." Reactions poured in, some confused, some impressed, but I didn't need approval. I had reclaimed my life, my boundaries, and my peace. Weeks later, my family began repaying what they had taken, silently, methodically. No drama, no calls, no arguments, just transfers, proof that lessons had been learned. Grandma moved in permanently, and our home became a sanctuary of quiet strength, simple joy, and laughter that wasn't performed for anyone's gaze. As I closed my laptop that night, a new spreadsheet sat open titled, Sophia's Life, Final. First row, first column. Priority 1. People who never have to prove themselves to anyone. Some victories are silent. Some endings don't roar, they settle. And some stories, like mine, are just beginning. If you've been captivated by this journey of hidden battles, quiet victories, and unexpected twists, make sure to like and subscribe, because the next story I have for you will take suspense, strategy, and thrills to a whole new level.